As the realities timelines are splitting, we feel more divided between this call to our realizing our magnitude, our magnificence as angelic beings. And that's my new favorite topic of all time, this awakening to the fact that we are angelic and what that means, and particularly the term angelic, all of these things. And then on the other hand, in order to do that amount of expansion requires us to shed more of the density of the programmed egoic self. All of those, that literally, it's like darkness in your field. It's your shadow self. It is everything that is keeping you from being pure light. All of the illusions you're still in. So there's this massive kind of feeling of being pulled like chewing gum. And a lot of people are feeling that they're bouncing back more than they were before. Like now it's become more marked. So moments of profound divinity, gratitude, grace, bliss, and then moments of like, oh my God, I just don't want to be here another moment. In this episode, I'm sharing with you a download that I got probably about a week or two ago. Quite often late at night, I talk to my guides and then they show me a whole lot of things. And so there are various forms of channeling. One is when I'm hearing the words, which I then write down. Another is when the entire thought form is given to me and then I have to unpack it because it's like the whole thing is given in a parcel. And sometimes I'm just shown things and then I explain what I'm seeing. In this particular message, it's really an Ascension update about what's going on for a lot of us energetically, and particularly this notion of being pulled. So take what you want from this. The pieces that are meant for you will land, and let me know in the comments what you want to know more about.
I'm being shown the enormity of who I am. And this is what we are being shown now in Ascension. That when you realize we're angelic and you start building this bridge with your I am presence, your divine self, you start to have glimpses of that self. And what I was shown now was a full sudden merger of myself into my higher self. And suddenly my energy field grew enormously. And I could sense how energetically disturbing, unbalancing it is. It's a sudden, complete different sense of who you are. It's a different perspective. And that's why we're not being catapulted into the stage of realization yet. But many of us are feeling so tired of the forgetting, of the going back to sleep, because at the same time we're being pulled in the direction of our expanded self, our divine self. And so we are feeling the pull right now. It feels like we're bouncing further between that traumatized self, the wounds that still play out, and then the enormity of who we truly are. These are getting further apart, so it feels more arduous to move between them. So I keep being shown that I'm here to talk to people who are finding this journey arduous, who are bouncing back and forth between their working through so much karma, like all the patterns, all the childhood imprints, all your lives, everything we are working through at such rapid pace. And so we are exhausted energetically. And I'm being shown that my guides, the Council of Light, they are explaining this hasn't happened before en masse. It hasn't happened on Earth. And so the process is being tempered. There is no way to fully predict the effect on the human psyche as these energy waves increase and surge into Earth's atmosphere. it really is squeezing us. And so, what I was shown a little bit earlier is that we are all just being called home to God. And I've been suffering the last few days. Today wasn't a good day. And I realized I was simply in my ego. I kept thinking I have to solve this problem, all these problems. And it was feeling so heavy. I haven't felt that low for a while. And then tonight, I was just shown it's because you've forgotten God. And so I had to actively go into prayer. And I put on music, the Muji Mala album it's Muji, and then these are songs of worship of people who've gone to see Muji, the spiritual teacher. So these beautiful songs of devotion just brought me back home, listening to these words and remembering the truth of who I am. And I was just reminded and shown that we keep looking for everything outside of us, but it's only God that we're looking for. As long as we stay in this ego human mind, we're just playing this character, and we're just going to keep replaying all of these wounds, and we'll see the world as a problem because the ego is programmed to see problems. That's how it operates, and it's been so programmed. And so if we want to see a divine world now, we have to take our minds back to God. Literally to just let this love light stream through us, and everything will change. It's about accepting, yes, I will be a channel for God. And when you start to feel that light flood in, when you have your first experience of feeling it physically in your body, it changes you. That's the illumination, the Holy Spirit. And I had this experience which has utterly changed my life, my outlook, my everything. And yet I haven't been able to get enough perspective, not enough time had passed to see it from a new perspective of a type of rite of passage. It's an initiation. But it was so amazing to feel the love of God in my body. And I haven't wanted to talk about it as much as I'm being shown I need to, because I felt it would be seen as boasting. And I had a whole lot of stories around what people might think in a million different ways, different criticisms, because I haven't seen it modeled barely on this planet, people talking about their relationship with God. It is happening more and more, but mostly this has been in a church context. And so for those of us who are preaching, if you want to call it that, who are speaking the word of God from outside traditional structures, it's really pioneering work, and it's lonely. But there are going to be more and more people who are feeling this pull, just like I am, to ministry. And it may be overt or, covert ministry, because we are always ministering. Every interaction with another human being is a chance to bless them and illuminate them with the light of God, in terms of the extent to which you have that light of God flowing through you. So the extent to which you recognize your own divinity is the extent to which you allow all those around you to also come home to God, to liberate themselves from suffering, to literally just start feeling the peace of God. Because look at how people mostly live on this planet. There is so much fear, there's so much doubt, there's so much scarcity, there's so much unworthiness, there's so much shame, so much fear. And you set people free when you can set them free from all that. And we can't do that externally. It's an energetic transfer. You can't fix a person's life and suddenly they won't have fear or shame. We can't do this externally. It's an interior game. It is an interior game. So we liberate others by liberating ourselves. And that means seeing the truth of who we are and bringing the love of God back into your heart. Letting it flood you with full worthiness, full perfection. The light of God is a very powerful thing, and it's changing all of us. And there are those who don't know what to make of these changes, this longing for God, the fact that they're bouncing between that traumatized, full of doubt self, and then this enormous, very powerful being that at moments you have glimpses of. And if you haven't had those glimpses, it's very hard to keep going. But because you read and you remember that this is true, even if you haven't had the physical remembrance yet. So part of what we are going to be doing in the Ministry of Light, I'm being shown, is this physical remembrance of God. Feeling God in our bodies, talking about what that feels like, and allowing people space to explore and to talk about their experiences of God. It's really important, I'm being shown, that these spaces are created outside of the traditional ones like the church, where perhaps people would, on occasion, I don't know, I haven't been part of many churches, talk about their direct experience of God. But for so many reasons, the vibratory level of those churches is not a match for where many people are who are awakening and looking for God, but don't know where to go. There need to be these modern ministries, which are almost a post-religious offering to those who understand there are many faiths on the earth at this time, but we all serve the light. There is one divine creator, known by many names, in many ways. But it's time to stop arguing about the names of God and just celebrate the light together. It's something that is done energetically. Words aren't needed. The intellect is not needed. This is about direct communion with God. Letting the light of God pour through you. And how you start to move in the world when you have this love pouring through you is different. It can be felt. There is a deep peace that comes from walking with God. And those of us being called to this path of devotion, being of true service to the planet in this specific way, because we all have very different gifts that we are here to bring. And the people that I am calling in are those who could be in multiple different fields. That's not what's important. But the fact is that you're feeling this deep call to God and to be of service to the light. And know that that is ultimately what you're doing, regardless of the form your service may take at this time. I mean, you could be a maths teacher and illuminating kids' minds. The nature of what you do, that's just one random example, that the nature of what you do is not what's important. It's your level of God connection, the level of love light that you're able to pour into the world in whatever way that brings you joy. So I'm getting very excited now, seeing the extraordinary beings who are coming into my world. What beautiful, luminous souls. And what an honor it is to support you in your awakening as you come home to God and learn together what that means, to explore it, knowing it comes from a very sacred place inside you, and it's time to honor that now. And I'm not here to teach 7 steps to transformation and be a wealth goddess and I don't know, all of these programs that I've seen so many people offering. And I was shown I almost need to turn away from like Instagram and all the stuff that's been showing me what other people are doing, making me think I need to do things in that way, because what I'm here to do is unique and I can't find my own voice when there's too many others. I'm here to help people process their spiritual awakening in terms specifically of this deep call to devotion and to knowing God and not knowing what to do with that. And some of you will have had deep experiences physically of Christ consciousness, of the light flowing into your body, of sensing your energy field become massive as you have a moment of merger with your higher self. Having these experiences and yet all the time also falling back into this, wounded, fearful self. All of the multiple selves and not being able to make sense of it. That's what we're here to talk about together, to make sense of it together. It's a hell of a journey, waking up in this way. Remembering that you're divine on a planet that's been enslaved. We've forgotten who we are. Immense, divine, very powerful beings. And we are waking up and we are remembering. But the programming, the frequencies are very intense. Very easy to get caught in fear and shame. Caught back in the illusion that you have problems, instead of this other path that is being shown to some of us, that is the right path for some of us, which is come home to God. Just allow yourself to be a channel for the love of God on this planet. Honor what is calling inside you. Even though this devotional urge may take you by surprise, as it has done me, it is very beautiful to honor it. And it will make sense as you allow the calling to be expressed. It's like having a yearning for something and then allowing yourself to have some of that something. Then you will start to understand how extraordinary it is to feel the love of God and why we're doing this. And just what I'm being shown energetically is it will lift you from this very dense energy that's also present on the planet at this time. So it gives you a renewed boost in your ascension process if it's feeling very heavy, because there's all the stuff to work through. There can be moments of such peace when you can rise above for a moment, let go, let go, let go. So we have our work cut out for us, and I'm just excited that so much more has become clear this evening about how I am to serve, and the extraordinary, beautiful light workers who, just like me, are feeling this call to devotion, here to serve the light and the liberation of this planet. It's amazing. It's so exciting. And there are not that many of us, although there are millions. So let's find each other. And the next message will be one in which I share about the importance of classwork spiritually.